Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to the Vampire Amazon Challenge in The Sims 4. We are following the reign of Queen Darling Cloudy Snarl, who has recently made some significant changes regarding the future of marriages in the Coven. This has put Lady Akira in a state of confusion and set her plans back. Although the Queen's ideas are under wraps for now, there's no guarantee when rumors of it will reach the other ladies in court. And as the days go by, Akira is finding herself becoming more and more wary of Lady Shannon. Did we just witness a battle between Akira and Lily's ghost? Yes, we did. And I find it very fascinating that Lily's ghost came up when the Queen was sitting here playing chess with guess who? Lord Yorick. Almost as though Lily could sniff out the fact that there was a change that was happening in court, that there was potential gossip with the whole marriage thing going on. Her ghost decided to pay us a visit, so that was pretty funny. What's this? Ooh, Princess Zara and Queen Darling have a difficult family dynamic. Now that is interesting because we have already observed the Queen becoming more and more wary of her daughters, the fact that they're turning out a certain way, and she's hoping under Vladislav they will change, but she can already see problems in the future, roadblocks, and apparently now they have a bit of a difficult dynamic, which is not good at all. But the Queen was over here playing chess with Yorick, just autonomously, which I found fascinating, and then Lily's ghost popped up. But let's kind of see what's been going on with our ladies. Now, I kind of have a feeling that Lily's ghost didn't just pay a visit to listen in on the Queen, because remember in the last episode the only one who kind of knew about the changes to marriage was Akira. I feel as though Lily's ghost, in that little fight she had with Akira, was also spouting a whole bunch of things, and she basically made all the other ladies aware of the fact that the Queen was changing things up, that the Queen had new plans, that the way they thought marriages were going to occur is not how marriages are going to occur. So now everyone in court basically knows what's going to happen and the way things are going to happen. And I know one of you lovelies also pointed out that you can't see Crown Princess Zara kind of going along with her mother's plans. Maybe she wouldn't want to be in an arranged marriage. So the kids were all present as well when Lily was spouting her nonsense. I wonder if that is why Zara and Darling now have a difficult dynamic, because when Zara found out that her mother was even thinking of doing arranged marriages in court, she got very upset. She's not too happy with that because, it concerns her future. I mean, granted, they're all children now, so they're still a little bit far off from anything like that happening. But their parents have begun to talk, So, yeah, Zara's not happy. There's been a lot of pressure put on her. And I actually really like that everyone is sitting by the pool. I think that's so cute. That is so cute. But okay, Caleb, she wants to go ahead and cook a meal. We know that is pretty much all she likes to do. And for Caleb, she has been keeping good relations with the kids as much as possible. And I kind of feel like it's more than just her knowing that she's gonna serve alongside them in court in the next generation. Not Nydia and Yorick per se, but she's going to serve alongside, Zara and Zuleika and Vampyre. But now that there is this whole thing regarding marriage talk coming up, Caleb's realizing that fostering good relations with the kids have even more meaning now, because Caleb's offspring, under the next queen, Caleb's offspring might end up making a match with, Yorick's offspring or Zuleika's offspring or Zara's offspring. So because right now the kids we have, once they become immortals, under the next queen, that's when they're going to have their breeding season, which is going to be the same time, Caleb, Lilith, they have their breeding season, and maybe Vladislav. So Caleb, now she's got even more to think about. But the good thing with her is that she has time. So let's go ahead, cook something up. We are gonna cook something delicious up. You know what though? Vanilla cupcakes sound nice. I kind of want to bake some, like cook some vanilla, bake some vanilla cupcakes. So she's going to go ahead and do that for the youngsters and put these out. And while she's baking, she's thinking of all these other things. Of course, there's no knowing how the lineages are going to pan out down the line. We are still very, very far off. But I was thinking about the whole arrangement that we kind of made, and it's kind of interesting, but down the generations, like down the line, marriages are going to become more and more important, because if you think about it, if we're not having like so many boys, the boys that we do have down the line, they or even with the way like marriages happen and, you know, the bloodlines combine and intermingle, down the line, the boys we have are going to be worth a lot more in terms of family influence that they carry and the influence they're going to give to their daughters. So marriages are going to become like more and more important. Securing a marriage like a couple generations from now might make all the difference between how influential your daughter's voice is when it comes to votes in judgment, and how much people listen to her. So right now, when we're building things up, obviously family influence, it's kind of very low because we don't have like generations of pedigree to back that up. But down the line, it's going to end up becoming like really, really fun. Because right now, all the ladies have bred with peasants. Like in this generation, everyone bred with peasants. So none of their children were actually born, like none of the daughters were born with any family influence. They were all born with zero influence. And they are going to have to accumulate that through their roles as they grow up and the stuff that they do in court. But from the next generation onwards, with some of these marriages, some of the kids are going to be end up, like they're going to be born with family influence to back them up. Okay, well, Lilith. She wants to go ahead and play the violin. I feel like Lilith has become a little bit more wary. It seems as though she's enjoying the company of children, which is nice, but I think she's become more wary of the adults, because every time she tries to participate or do anything in her capacity as a counselor, Shannon keeps thrashing around and, you know, jumping up and down and voicing her distaste. So I think as someone who doesn't like drama and tension, Lilith is staying more and more away from the adults and kind of seeking quiet and peace on her own. But she wants to go play the violin, so I'm gonna send her up here. Let's say our goodbyes to the youngsters. We'll let them kind of hang out with themselves. And I wonder what kind of like chatter all the boys and girls must be having, knowing that now their mothers have like certain things in mind for them in the future. Okay, Lilith, do we need to get you out of the pool? Lilith, do we need to... I'm gonna get her out of the pool. Oh, she can vampirically run. Oh. Well, that's kind of exciting. Let's get you to vampirically run upstairs. Honey, are you okay? Hold on a second. I think Lilith is so stressed that she forgot that she can walk on the floor. She was trying to swim through the floor, guys, but no. Let's run there. Also, on a hunt we did off camera, the queen... Oh, look at that, so speedy. The queen, she gained another vampiric rank, and so she manifested some more powers and abilities, but we'll get Lilith to practice the violin, or, you know, more or less play the violin. There we go. Maybe music gives her a little bit of comfort, and music doesn't cause a fuss the way some of these ladies do. The queen, I was saying, she actually manifested some more powers, so she is now a child of the moon. She has, you know, the first tier of that. She has manipulate life spirit. She also has garlic immunity, and she gained uncontrollable hissing as a weakness. So she's a sloppy drinker and has uncontrollable hissing, but those are some of the abilities that she has now. Some extra things that have manifested in her. Okay, Lilith, she'll continue playing this. I'm gonna consider this to be done. Excellent. And then Shannon. Okay, Shannon has... Look at her face! Look at that face, guys. I didn't realize Shannon was this kind of petty. She's like pixie petty. She looks like a petty pixie to me. No? She does. I didn't realize she was, I thought she was sweet, she was nice, she was very pleasant. And now that we have seen this kind of petty side of her, she's like it. She throws tantrums like a child. She's almost like a child herself. And I am thinking back to when she was kind of becoming friends with Miko, and then Billy came, sat her down in the pool area and told Shannon to kind of stay away from Miko because Miko's on the losing side. Did you guys notice that after that, we rarely saw Shannon and Miko together? They weren't, like, Shannon almost as though was steering clear of Miko, and I wasn't really blaming her much for that. But now that I'm looking back on it, I'm wondering if that was deliberate. I thought maybe Shannon was a little bit unsure, scared, intimidated, and so she was kind of, maybe Miko told her to keep her distance. But seeing the way Shannon is now, I almost wonder if Shannon herself was staying away because she didn't want to get dragged down by Miko. I don't know, guys. Shannon, I'm not a fan of Shannon. But okay, she wants to flirt with someone. Let's see who she wants to flirt with. Who does she have the best relationship with? She has a 24 with Akira, a 41 with Lilith, a 38 with the Queen, and a 67 with Caleb. So it's gonna be Caleb. It is gonna be Caleb. Okay. She's kind of repaired some of her relationship with the Queen, though. She's like friends with the Queen. Guys, Shannon works so quick. She must have done that off camera, because she has not been making a good impression on the Queen. But you know what? Why she's do you guys realize why she's scrambling so much to make sure her relation with the Queen is good? It's because we have the new council that's going to be appointed in a couple days' time. So if Shannon wants a shot at it, obviously she's going to have to make sure that she's got like a good relationship with the Queen going. Otherwise, she's going to miss that completely. So I think she's changing tactics. But she wants to be romantic. She's going to be a little bit romantic with Caleb. We'll try and do a pickup line with her. Should we offer a rose? She's going to offer a rose. I don't know how Caleb is going to take this. She's going to offer a rose. They're all good friends. And okay, see, Caleb did not mind that. Because Caleb, I don't think, saw that as a, oh, and now they have a little bit of romance going. Yeah, I don't think Caleb saw that as Shannon kind of using her, like we have seen occasionally in the past. And you know what? I don't think Caleb really has that much of a problem with Shannon, probably because Caleb is just so nice of a person anyways. And Shannon, most likely, she acts like a brat with everyone else, but she acts really sweet to Caleb, so Caleb's only ever seen her sweet side. So I can see why they would kind of get along. So okay, things are going well for her. Akira wants to win a game of chess. So let's see who she might like to play chess with. We'll play chess maybe in the Queen's chambers, since it's really close to us. She has the least relationship, but look, I'm gonna have to check, between Darling, Caleb, Lilith, and Shannon. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check. She has a 27 with Lilith, a 28 with Caleb, 66 with the Queen, and a 26 with Shannon. So it's gonna be Shannon. Okay, so Akira, she's gonna play with Shannon. Okay. And she has bad compatibility with the Queen, Caleb, and Lilith. Just fascinating. But I find her choice of a chess partner very intriguing, guys, because early in this episode, we did say that Akira is becoming more and more wary of Lady Shannon. And given the change in marriage talks that have just happened, Akira, I feel like, is mentally very quick with these things, even if, like some of you have mentioned, she kind of struggles to get it out of her mouth and be able to say things, but her mind is constantly working. And I feel like she would have instantaneously realized that in the current court, she and Shannon are the only ones with a daughter, aside from the princesses. So the marriage talks that the Queen has brought up is going to affect them the most. And so I think in wanting to play chess with Shannon, she's probably wanting to figure out what Shannon is thinking. Because by this point, everyone knows. So she wants to know what's going on in Shannon's mind and whether she has anything thought out about what she's going to do for her daughter's future. Right now, in terms of the potential, we're going to complete this. In terms of the potential, what is this? Hold on a second. Did she win the game? I have no clue. But from the current pairings that we have going on in terms of the kids, right? Potentially what might happen, what might make sense. We have Lady Shannon, who I believe is going to be aiming for Prince Zorro, because Shannon is the type of person who aims really high, and I don't think she's going to be interested in like little Lord Yorick. Like, who's Yorick? Yorick is, yes, Miko's son, but it's not as though Miko was that important to Shannon anyways. And in terms of influence, well, her granddaughter potentially is going to get like more family influence. So she's going to be born with more family influence if she's a daughter of Prince Zorro. So I think Shannon would be aiming to chummy up with the queen, perhaps even for that, to make sure that her daughter Vampyre gets paired with Zorro or gets, married to Zorro. Now Akira, she kind of has two options. She, yes, could aim high, just like Shannon, and get her daughter Zuleika married to Zorro, or she could get her daughter married to Yorick. We know Yorick has kind of a special place in Akira's heart because he is the daughter of Miko, and we know that Akira had feelings for Miko that were never, fully realized, and she didn't really appreciate Miko. And even before they became anything romantic, they were really, really good friends. So I can see Akira maybe trying to fulfill kind of the love maybe she should have had with Miko through their children, and having her daughter, for like sentimental reasons, getting her daughter married to Yorick. So that would be one thing for her. But then she could, as Shannon is doing, like I said, aim high and make sure that she sets up her family by getting her daughter Zuleika married to Zorro. And this is kind of an exchange for the fact that maybe her daughter was supposed to marry Crown Princess Zara, but that didn't end up happening. So her daughter can get married to Zorro instead. Like, those are kind of her two options. I feel like for Akira, her head would be telling her to marry her daughter to Zorro, and her heart would be telling her to marry her daughter to Yorick. And I feel like if she did end up with like choosing Yorick, it would kind of be a way to bring Yorick into her family as well. So that's something with Akira. And then of course, Queen Darling, she really only has the choice of Yorick for one of her daughters. So we know that the Queen has been showing Yorick some favor, and to be honest, autonomously, she's been interacting with Yorick quite a lot. Okay, she likes discussing interests, but that's kind of where everyone is at in terms of like what they're feeling. Okay, Shannon, I'm gonna complete this. That should have been completed. Queen Darling, meanwhile, wants to freshen up in the mirror, so she's gonna go to her quarters. She's gonna freshen up. I think Kadalik is feeling quite impressed with herself for the new kind of system she's come up with. It's kind of got the court in a bit of a stir, but also everything's like falling into place for her, even though her daughters have been causing a little bit of, problems in terms of their education. I feel like the Queen has managed to kind of refocus her attentions on something else and doing something for the court right now in these marriage talks. She's been thinking more of that. It's allowed her to get away from the maybe disappointment in her, immediate family line. So I feel like doing some queenly duties and getting away from being a mother for a little bit has made her actually feel a bit more refreshed and she's feeling good about herself because the daughters are a little bit out of her control. You know, she can't really dictate how they're going to turn out. That's kind of under Vladisla's jurisdiction. All she can do is kind of see the type of behaviors they display and be in their presence, talk with them, but she doesn't really have a shaping hand in their future in terms of the personality they're going to have. But when it comes to her queenly duties, that's something she can control and shape with her own two hands. So she feels good about, you know, accomplishing that. As a queen, I feel like Darling has been very, very successful and a very, very good queen. So there's a lot for her daughters to live up to. And I kind of like the fact that Darling has never doubted herself. She's actually been really, really proud of herself and everything she's kind of done. So that's really nice. But okay, that's kind of what we have going on for these guys. While the court was still buzzing from the juicy gossip Lily's ghost had spilled to them, Lady Caleb found her heart being stirred by something else. Shannon had given her a rose earlier in the day, and she could not get it out of her mind. So she worked up her courage to ask if they could go stargazing together. Meanwhile, Lady Lilith, who usually found herself staying away from the adults, came to a startling realization that she really enjoyed the company of Princess Nydia. They'd spent some time together in the pool, and she couldn't help but admire the way Nydia fought for her rights, even if it meant having to steal. In another corner of the castle, Lady Shannon stumbled across Akira playing card games with her daughter Zuleika and Prince Zorro. There was no way she couldn't intervene, especially when it concerned the future of Vampyre. She remembered their probing conversation over chess in the Queen's chamber, and wondered if Akira was going to rival her for Zorro's hand. Lady Akira wasn't willing to show her thoughts just yet, and tried clearing the table for Yorick and Caleb to join in, but Shannon refused to budge, insisting on Zuleika staying with them as well. All Akira could do was agree to another game with Zorro and admit that she had a good impression of both boys. Something that perhaps Shannon didn't consider was which of the two ladies Queen Darling preferred to make a marriage alliance with. On that front, it was quite obvious to the court that their monarch had a strong relationship with her counselor Akira, and one that was ever on the brink of becoming something more. And with that said and done, I'm going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.